the biological molecules of cells. I will be discussing the groups of biological molecules and how they break down into small molecules of subunits, and how our body then takes those subunits and builds from them into large molecules that make up our cells. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are known to be an energy source, but as we all know, in one way or another, carbs are also easily stored in our bodies. In our opinion, we may feel that carbs aren't needed in our bodies, but for plants and fungi, carbs also have structural functions. Monosaccharides. What we know to be simple sugars are also known as monosaccharides. Due to being a single sugar molecule, a simple sugar can consist of 3 to 7 carbons. Monosaccharides often passes many polar OH functional groups, which makes them suitable in water. Desaturides. Two or more saccharides linked together by a dehydration synthesis. Reaction is a desaturated which have three categories known as maltose, sucrose, and lactose. Maltose contains 2-glucose suitable and is known to be relied on when it comes to the brewing of beer. Sucrose is found in a sugar beer and sugarcane, mostly used as a sweetener. Lactose is usually found in milk and contains a glucose molecule combined with a glucose molecule. Polysaccharides. Polysaccharides are polymers of monosaccharides, usually glucose. Some polysaccharides function as short-term energy stored molecules because they are much longer than a monosaccharides. Polysaccharides cannot pass through a plasma membrane easily and are kept stored within the cell. Plants also use glucose as starch. Lipid foods. Lipids are hydrophobic and insoluble in water. You have your dairy, your oils, and your fats, which you may notice do not mix. Lipids are very diverse, and they have a variety of structures and functions. Fats and oils are some well-known lipids. The difference between fats and oils is that fats are solid at room temperature, while oils are lipids at room temperature. Although, when it comes to animals, fats are used for long-term energy, storage, and solution. While animals use fats, plants use oils for long-term energy storage. Proteins. Proteins play a big part in the structure and functions of cells. Some functions include where some proteins are structural proteins, metabolisms where many proteins are enzyme transport were channeled and carried. Proteins in the plasma membranes allow substance to enter and exit cell defense, where some proteins known as antibodies combine with diseases, causing regulatory from destroying cells regulations where hormones, proteins, and motions where the carbohydrate proteins and actions allow parts of the cells to meet and cause molecules to contract. The monomers of proteins. Proteins are actual polymers while their monomers are called amino acids. Amino acids have a unique carbon skeleton. The name amino is appropriate because one of the two functional groups is an NH2 or amino group, while the other is a COOH or an acid group. As the figure shown, there are 20 different amino acids which differ by their particular R groups. Peptides. A peptide is a form where two amino acids are joined by a dehydration synthesis. Reactions between the acid groups of one and the amino group of the other. The resulting covalent bond between two amino acids is called a peptide bond. A chain of many amino acids joined by a peptide bond forms a polypeptide. How does our body break down our food? This cycle pretty much explains how the breakdown of carbs in foods. You have your foods, your food products, your polysaturated, your desaturated, and your monosaturated. Thank you for watching this video. The end.